Hey everybody, welcome down to the music room. Always love having you guys join me. As always, this is Tony, and I appreciate you guys being here to listen to whatever it is that I have to talk about. Today we are going to talk about the stadium tour. In case you, for some reason, don't know, this is the big tour going around with Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Poison, Joan Jett, and a new band called Classless. Was going to try to type out my thoughts on the experience, but it was just way too much, so I thought it'd be better just to record a quick video, let you guys know my thoughts about the tour, and then hear what you guys have to say about it too. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know a lot of stuff's being shared. Some of the stuff I agree with, some of the stuff I think is a little harsh, so I'm going to give my 2 cents on the stadium tour. Alright, so before we get started, you know what's coming, the commercial. If you love what we do here at the Music Room, or if you just love music like we love music, do me a favor, click that subscribe button. We would truly appreciate that. And that way you never miss out on a future video, contest, or anything else that we have going on. And we have a lot going on. Anyway, let's get down to what we're here for, and let's talk about the stadium tour. Now, this thing was supposed to happen back in 2019. That's when it got announced. And it was so exciting to think about all these bands coming together, playing the big ballparks. Notice my wardrobe here, and it was like a rocker's dream come true if you love that kind of music. But then, it happened, and things got shelved for 2 years, almost 3 years before this thing played its opening night in Atlanta, Georgia. But the tour is rolling. Now, everybody wondered, would the lineup be different? Would the venues be different? Would this thing ever happen? And I'm happy to report, other than the first band, the major players of this tour are in place. Joan Jett, Poison, Motley Crue, and Def Leppard. They've joined forces, joined by the band Classless Act, and they are in fact doing this tour. It's already halfway over. They're on the second leg as we speak. Now, obviously, it started off a little rocky for the crew. Tommy Lee had some broken ribs and only could play a few songs each night. It does appear that Tommy's all healed up and things are well. I saw the show here in Cincy on July 15th at Great American Ballpark, and I got the extreme pleasure of getting to shoot it and cover it for the Music Room, and you guys can see the photos and set list and everything on this page, so make sure to check those out. I got down to the ballpark early because I hate parking downtown and it's always a hassle. So I got down there nice and early and got my spot right behind the venue, and just kind of took it all in. And from the very get-go, it was so awesome. Never seen so many tour buses when it wasn't a festival. There were buses parked everywhere the eye could see. So that's always exciting when you see some tour buses and you know that your favorite artists are near. So I haven't really done the scouting out for bands since COVID. I know a lot of bands, especially this tour, is in the bubble, so I knew any chances of getting any time with any member of the band was not going to happen, so didn't even try for that. Went to a local watering hole across from the stadium and just joined my fellow rockers, and it was such a cool vibe. Even a couple hours before the show even started, people were in a really good mood. They were sporting their classic tees. You had your Motley tees, you had your Def Leppard tees, your Poison tees, even a few Joan Jett tees, and everybody was just everybody was ready. They were pumped. We'd waited for so long, and it was finally here. People were being cool to each other, and it was really just awesome. But then we got time, so headed to the stadium, took care of everything I needed to do as far as credentials and getting that stuff taken care of, and it was time for the first band, Classless Act. I gotta tell you, this band Classless Act are the real deal. They have that spirit of rock and roll, man, that we love, that's in Motley Crue, that's in Def Leppard, that's in Poison, it's in Classless Act. These guys get it. They know how to be rock stars. They are rock stars, and I think that there's a lot to come from Classless Act. They probably played about a 20-minute set. It was enjoyable, it was entertaining, and I look forward to seeing those guys on their own. You have Dirty Honey out there, you have Them Evils. Well, now we have Classless Act, and I think they're going to be somebody to watch out for. And so Classless Act are done, and it's time for Joan Jett. It was awesome. Little insider thing here, a lot of times Joan does not allow photographers at her shows. I've actually done a few tours where Joan's been on the bill, and photographers weren't permitted, and that's cool. That's every artist's decision. But for the stadium tour, Joan did allow us to shoot, and it was such a thrill and such an honor to get to shoot Joan Jet The Blackhearts. They were everything you would expect. They were awesome. All the songs you love. the attitude, just the Joan Jetness of it. So it was a treat as a photographer, and it was a treat as a music fan to get to watch Joan and the Blackhearts. Awesome stuff. Yeah, she represented the ladies well on this tour, and she's probably tougher than any of the guys in any of the other bands. So I'm not even going to play the lady card, but it was cool to have a woman present there and representing. Okay, two bands down, and that's how it was, man. This thing was rolling. This thing was going so fast. I couldn't believe how fast the day went. And we get to Poison. Now, Poison, they don't tour very often. They're not out there every summer like they used to be for a while. They kind of pick their moments, and it's every few years, and then obviously the 3-year downtime with you know what. But Poison hit the stage, and from the moment they hit the stage, you knew they wanted to be there. They were working, man. These guys were having a good time, but they were just working as hard as they could to make sure that every person in Great American Ballpark was having a good time too. There were smiles across the board. Bobby Dahl, huge smile. CC was CC. You gotta love CC. Just awesome to watch that guy. And Ricky Rocket having a good time back there with the kit. And cannot talk without Bret Michaels. To me, I think he was probably the hardest working guy on this whole tour. Bret came out, and from the moment he hit the stage, he had one thing on his mind, and that was entertaining everybody, and he did that. I don't think Bret was feeling real well. I know he had some health issues leading up to this date, but you could just see the guy. He was working through anything that was going on. He wouldn't let anything get in his way, and he delivered. Hearing those Poison songs, they sounded really fresh because, like I said, I hadn't seen them live in a long time. To me, Poison stole the show at the stadium tour. And that's a tall bill, man. That's a hard thing to do. And that's not a knock on any of the other bands. That's just the level that Poison brought it. These guys were out to have nothing but a good time, and they wanted to make sure that we had nothing but a good time. Mission accomplished. Thank you guys and Poison for that. We certainly enjoyed it, and we look forward to whenever the next Poison tour is. I'm here maybe 2025. So, glad we got to see it now. Okay, the rest of the night, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, they are flip-flopping headlining sets. So, you know, one night will be Motley Crue headlining, the next night will be Def Leppard. In Cincy, it was Def Leppard headlining, which meant Motley Crue were going to go on next. It was still fairly daylight when Crue hit the stage, and they put out all of this pink smoke, kind of obnoxiously. I know you want to create a mood, but you couldn't see the stage for their first song. I found that to be kind of annoying. But you could hear the tunes. It was great. You know, mixed loud guitar. Tommy, like I said, Tommy was playing. He played the whole show. And Crue came out and did what Crue have always done. People are gonna rag on Vince Neil. A lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, he can't sing." A lot of people are gonna say a lot of bad stuff about Vince. I'm gonna say that I think Vince was trying extra hard. I think Vince sounded better and looked better than the last time I'd seen him on a solo date a few years ago. I think Vince was really trying hard, and I'm not going to knock Vince. If you're going to a Motley Crue show, you know the possibilities and what you might get. To me, Vince surpassed what my expectations were. And I'm going to say Motley Crue were probably maybe my least favorite band of the bill, just because it was the same Motley Crue show that I've seen the past few times I've seen Motley Crue. I don't feel like they're really, I don't want to use the word matured, because I don't expect anybody to mature, but I don't think they've aged well. I think they're still doing the same shtick, and, you know, a lot of people love it, but when you have a band like Poison on this side, and you have Def Leppard coming up next, it just kind of seems like maybe Crue haven't seasoned or aged quite as well. But anyway, they had the crowd in the palm of their hands. It was a rowdy show. You had Nikki Sixx at the forefront of things, Tommy coming out to talk to the crowd, and Mick, you know, Mick did his thing. Mick's never been real active, but he did his thing, and he sounded great. So the Crue are the Crue. You get exactly what you would expect from the Crue. But I just want to make that point too. I don't think Vince Neil was the worst thing about Motley Crue. I think Vince, again, tried hard and delivered better than I've seen in a long time. So kudos to Vince. Leave Vince alone. All right, so then it was time for Def Leppard, man. This thing is already almost over, right? But you still got Def Leppard. You still got a Def Leppard set, so that's cool. The ballpark was finally getting dark, and what can you say, man? Def Leppard did their thing. These guys are Rock and Roll Hall of Famers for a reason. They're professionals. They have aged gracefully, you know, and they have, what I'm trying to say here, they are Def Leppard for 2022. They still sound great. They play all the great songs, but they're not trying to be Def Leppard from 1989, and I appreciate that. Joe Elliott came out. He had his gray hair, and as a guy that has a couple grays, I appreciate that. Phil Collin, beast. Vivian Campbell, love that guy. Especially like with Def Leppard, them Last in Line. I'm just a huge Vivian fan, so getting to see Viv is always very cool. And then of course Rick Allen. It's Def Leppard. Guy, man, on bass. That guy was all over the stage. He was having a blast. He was drinking some of Poison's juice, man, because he was working it, and he really just commanded the crowd. And that's not a knock on any of the rest of the guys, but Sav just brought it a little extra, and I think he really shined during Def Leppard's set. So, guys, that's just a little my opinion on the bands themselves. The experience could not have been any better. This thing, a lot of people probably said it could have been a train wreck or could have been this or that. It was nothing but a success. It was nothing but fun. Being around a lot of people that I knew in the crowd, you couldn't help but look and see somebody you knew, and then you make a lot of new friends. You see people's shirts and you comment on shirts. It was our people, right? It was the rock and roll faithful getting together. About 36,000 of us getting together and celebrating the music that we love. So this tour was well worth the wait.